Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Geeks Forever podcast. I am your host, Jesse Goku, and today it is Monday, uh, April 5th. Well, it's not the Geeks Forever podcast, it's the Monday Trash Talk panel, but unfortunately, my co host was also unable to make it today. For personal reasons, I am not going to put his business out there as to why he couldn't be here today, but I did speak to him, and he does have a valid excuse. I just want to let him know that no hard feelings. I can't wait for him to come back so we can continue our Monday podcast. But today I'm going to be just talking about random shit like Comic Palooza versus Delta H-Con. So for those of you that don't know, Comic Palooza and Delta H-Con are on the same weekend this year in July. We talked about this before in the regular podcast, but I think everybody. Sorry, I'm a little gassy. I think everybody expects Delta H-Con to reschedule their convention. There's no way. I don't see Comic Palooza rescheduling at all. I don't even think Comic Palooza knows Delta's on the same weekend. With that being said, there are a lot of people that are upset about Comic Palooza and Delta H-Con being in the same weekend. People are mostly upset at Comic Palooza for changing their date to the same weekend as Delta. For Comic Palooza for changing their same weekend day to Delta H-Con, which honestly, it's just Delta H-Con for sure. Comic Palooza doesn't have panels. What's up? What's up, Thomas? Actually, Thomas, if you would like to be on the show today to join me, if you are free, I'm extending an invitation to anybody that would like to come on. Most people, like 90% of the people that come on, you're only going to get like 5 minutes to talk about it. But Thomas is part of he has a YouTube channel that's very, very successful. So I want to extend an invitation. Sure. Okay. So the way it works is I'm going to go ahead and post the link right here. You don't have to have a stream. You don't have to have any programs whatsoever. You just have to follow the stream, follow the instructions, and you're in the podcast. But with that being said, I have to disagree with Mr. Fred, who's also known as Deacon Rap, who's also been on the show. I don't think Comic Palooza even knows who Delta H-Con is. Yes, I agree with that statement. But he's saying that Delta H-Con's for sure. Comic Palooza doesn't have panels. This is not true. Comic Palooza does have panels. Comic Palooza has the Geeks 5 panels, for sure. We, Geeks 5 are going to be at Comic Palooza. Now, we don't know if we're still going to be able to do both. We're going to try to do both, but our main focus as of right now is Comic Palooza. So with that being said, I want to introduce Mr. Thomas I'm going to actually allow him to introduce himself and his YouTube channel. It's a very successful YouTube channel.
Say it's highly successful. It's only got about 4,000 subs, but I tend to go online as Lio Convoy. I don't tend to appear on camera, but this required me to turn it on, so now you get to see all my dumb nerd crap.
Actually, you can turn it off.
I have no idea how to. Let me see here. Did I just click this button? Oh, there we go. All right. So now you're just dealing with me then. That works too.
Absolutely. Welcome to the Geeks 5 Monday Trash Talk panel. Thank you for agreeing to be on. I know it's been a while since you've been on the channel.
Well, thanks for having me on. I have a little bit better equipment now than I did back in the day when I was raging about other things.
Right. Absolutely. Actually, I wanted to give you a quick shout out. I wanted to say I saw your special on Anime Matsuri. I wanted to give you a shout out for giving us a shout out on the video. I know why you did it, and it's really crazy how many people have covered Anime Matsuri and have like not really brought us up, despite the fact that this group really was nearly killed by the poor management and poor communication skills of Anime Matsuri.
Yeah, poor management, inability to check rosters and dossiers for information. And, well, I mean, every single room, in theory, should have a guide there when a panel is about to set up. And the fact that they let somebody who wasn't on their list, who wasn't the panel host, wearing full Nazi regalia, just show up and do whatever with the panel, shows how horribly disorganized they are. And I've had people, do the whole, well, that was probably just one of the boycotters, just trying to smear them. Well, if it was a boycotter trying to smear them, how in the world did the convention let it get to that point. That's something that should have been caught really easily. It's an absolute mess. I had somebody today comment on the original interview I did with Bam, talking about how, well, the con's still going, so the boycott failed. I'm like, all right, well, you know what this guy did, right? It's like, yeah, I know what he did, but it doesn't affect me, so we still go. I'm like, all right, if your value is you don't care what the guy did as long as you have fun, fine, that's your value. And that dude got mad because I threw it back in his face. So I'm still getting comments on that. I still have people showing up, and I still have the video shared around, and I hope everybody sees it, because even if they don't go to the con or have no concern with it, this is a prevalent problem within anybody who has power at a convention area. So people need to be aware of the nonsense John pulled, and he needs to be held socially accountable for it. The man shouldn't be running a con, period.
Just real quick, I want to address some comments. I want to say, give a shout out to Edgar, who's in the comment section saying, what up? Mr. Ross Martinez says, can you go to Delta for Friday for our wedding? Absolutely, man. As a matter of fact, I was going to ask if you would let me DJ for you. I'm buying brand new equipment because we ran karaoke last year. I'm buying some brand new karaoke equipment, because our original karaoke equipment got damaged. Our storage unit got flooded in, and unfortunately the insurance wouldn't replace the speakers. But yeah, no, I'm down, man. I'll be there Friday for sure, because Comic Palooza this year is only Saturday and Sunday anyway. And to answer Mr. Deacon Rap's question, hold up, what? I never knew Comic Cons had those kind of panels. Absolutely, Comic Cons are actually more universal than most anime conventions, believe it or not.
Yeah, and they tend to be ran better too.
Absolutely, because they are most anime. Not anime. Comic Cons, comic book conventions are owned by major corporations. Are they owned by the city or the state themselves?
And they're also ran by, well, more often than not, older people who aren't there to stroke their own ego. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you're like between the ages of 17 and 24 and you're not in a committed relationship, like, anime cons are the place to be. But when you get older, you're like, this is just a bunch of weird kids with niche interests that usually have people with daddy issues, and you start moving away from that as you get older. And Comic Cons are a good place that tends to be more rounded and all about. You can do anime there, you can do comics there, cartoons. So if I had to choose like life or death between one of them, I'd go with a Comic Con.
Right, absolutely. I prefer comic book conventions for the exact same reason as you said. But so the thing is, and I want to get your thoughts on Comic Palooza and Delta HCon are on the same weekend this year. There seems to be some people very upset with Comic Palooza for booking that weekend, knowingly. This is what they've said. They knowingly booked that weekend, despite the fact, that Delta's on the same weekend. I don't think Comic Palooza even knows Delta HCon exists. Yeah, I think they do, but not on.
I would immediately have to ask for a source on them knowing, because that type of rhetoric gets spread. Well, they knew. Well, not necessarily. You'd be surprised how little these people pay attention to others, especially in their middle of hustle of trying to run their own thing. So I'd need whoever made that claim, I'd need them to provide a source for that.
Right, and to one of our listeners, Otaku Life, I'll send you a link to Mr. Convoy's a YouTube video for the Anime Matsuri special. I'll send that. I'll put that in I'll put that in the Geeks 5 Ever Discord channel, so everybody there can check it out. It's actually a good watch. I watched it and I enjoyed it.
I didn't even know you had a Discord.
We do. It's a very small Discord. Not a lot of people. Not very active. It's because we're a panelist group. We thrive more with panels, and the pandemic has really hurt us a lot, because we can generate like hundreds and hundreds of people. We have massive audiences with our panels, but like the YouTube channel has become our main focus. Now, even then, our YouTube channel is not even the main focus. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitch. We're on all kinds of channels now, and then we're about to go on. We're about to have an audio only podcast, and we're about to do a lot more. So we have like many focuses. Plus, we have our Renaissance group that we have to take care of as well. But it's a lot.
Trust me, I know the pain of trying to get multiple things done.
Right. I mean, yeah, I've gotten better at organization. I've always been pretty good at being organized starting on time, being done on time. I might not be the most mature individual, but I've always been the kind of person like, okay, this is what I need. I'll have it with me. I'm gonna start. If you tell me 7, I will be there, and I will start at 7. And if you tell me 8 o'clock, unless like if I know that if there's nothing going on and they're okay with me going over, I will not go over.
Well, then we're all being punctual.
Yeah, no, I mean it's one of those things to where like, say what you will about me, I've always cleaned up after myself at the panels. I've always started on time, and I've always ended on time. At least when I'm required to end. There have been a couple times where I've been forced off the stage.
Yeah, there was that one time. That one time you didn't quite clean up after yourself and you ran a little long on the tooth. But that was also Anime Matsuri, and that place is a mess anyways.
I didn't take any equipment to those cons. To Anime Matsuri, I took zero
equipment. This was the one where you did the piñata. You forgot about that, didn't you?
I remember. No, I thought I had cleaned up pretty well after myself.
You cleaned up as best you could, but there were still piñata bits all over the place. I don't know why you guys thought that was a good idea. Good Lord.
That wasn't even my idea. That was one of the sponsors. He's like, I will sponsor a piñata and donate $100 toward your hotel room if you have the piñata.
Next time, ask for $300. Good Lord.
Just pay for the room. I'll bring a vacuum with me next time. I'll put on a maid outfit and clean up. They'll think I'm part of the staff for the con.
No, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see you in a maid outfit.
No, you're thinking about like a French maid, anime maid. I'm talking about like actual.
I'm saying in general, ain't nobody want to see that.
I'm talking about like a gray suit, pants, just housekeeping. Anyways, another comment says, out of the 4 Comic Cons I have been to, they either didn't have panels at all, or their idea of a panel was the guest doing a Q&A. I will say yes, that is a thing. Some Comic Cons focus more on their guests and their events and their panels. Some Comic Cons are very, very lenient when it comes to panels. You also have to understand that Comic Cons have their events director is also quality control. When you're pitching a panel, you have to legitimately pitch the panel like it's a sales pitch. And if it sounds like crap, they're not going to fucking take it.
Or in some cases, you have places like A-Fest, which in general is good, but man, sometimes they are irrational. I got a whole bunch of panels for A-Fest, and they double booked me, meaning that I had 2 panels that were going to run concurrently with each other. And when I told them about this, because I found out like the day it happened, I'm like, guys, I can't physically be in 2 places at once. Like, well, we'll have to list it as a missed panel, and it'll be on your record. But we understand. I'm like, what do you mean it's gonna be on my record? This is you guys' goof, not mine.
Right? Absolutely. That's I can actually agree with you on the Anime Fest. I will admit, I have submitted some really crappy panels just because I needed 2 extra badges.
Dunk on it, Jesse.
Yeah, they were some awful panels, and I didn't think they were going to approve them. Like, man, we're just going to have to buy the badges. Because at the time, we didn't have Geeks 5 Ever. We weren't known as Geeks 5 Ever. We were just Jesse and his panels.
Oh, Lord.
Now we actually have like a group of people that sit down and help me come up with panel ideas that we think might be good.
Yeah, I also see your page has gotten over 1,000 followers, which is good. The page I had like over 2,000, but then Warner Brothers nuked that page because they're a bunch of pussies. So,
well, at the same time, I took a 2-year hiatus. I took a 2-year, a year and a half hiatus. Speaking of which, for those of you that follow my personal Facebook, my daughter is 2 years old today.
Congratulations! Happy birthday to her.
Thank you. I took a year and a half hiatus because I was going to be a dad, and I didn't know. I thought Geeks 5 Ever was pretty much done at that point, but shit happens, and I'm back now. And we've been at this for about a year since we've been back, and I'm really happy because when we started back a year ago, we were under 1,000. Now we're at 1,200, I think. We're about 1,200, about 1,199 likes and about 1,200 followers.
Nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, no. So Jesse and the crew. So there are two different crews, by the way. There's the actual Geek Survivor staff. There's the podcast staff that helps me come up with subjects. But okay, so Comic Palooza, Delta H-Con, same weekend this year. Delta H-Con, for those of you that don't know, has the weekend badges and the one-day badges. They are from Friday to Sunday. Let me get those dates for everybody right now. But Comic Palooza this year is only going to be Saturday and Sunday, and they're selling individual passes per day. You can't buy a badge for both days. You have to buy a badge for each day that you show up. And the weekend that they're on this year is Delta H-Con's July 16th through the 18th, and Comic Palooza is the 17th and 18th of this year.
Yeah, I need to submit some panels for Comic Palooza, so we'll see how that goes.
Oh, me too, absolutely. We have some comments and say that you're out of limit pledge, cheating the system. Jesse and the crew sounds like a big hair band. There's also no capacity limit. I think there's no capacity limit for Delta or Comic Palooza as well.
Well, as far as whether or not they're going to be stepping on each other's toes, that may not necessarily be the case. Usually you'll have overlap like that when it's somebody like between the ages of 24 and like 29, because that's when their interests are a little bit more diverse. But Delta H-Con is, to this day, the anime con within driving distance of me that I have never gone to for a myriad of reasons. Not that I have anything against the con itself. It's just so far it hasn't appealed to me, and it doesn't seem to be a very big con. So I can understand people getting upset or thinking there might be some heat here, but I don't think that's necessarily the case, because the Delta H-Con isn't a threat to Comic Palooza's numbers in any way, shape, or form.
Absolutely not. It seems here like some of the animosity towards Comic Palooza seems to be from vendors, actually. Vendors that want to be at Delta and Comic Palooza.
Well, they're going to have to decide which one they're going to make more money at and go to that one instead.
Right. Well, there are people that are like, oh, Comic Palooza is going to destroy Delta. I don't think that's the case. I think Delta is going to do pretty well. Now, this is going based on if they don't change their schedule. I wholeheartedly think that they're going to reschedule, because for one, there's too many conventions in July. You have Anime Matsuri, you have Retro Palooza, you have Comic Palooza, and I think you have one more.
Retro Palooza. I've never been to that one. Should probably check that one out.
I might be wrong about the convention itself.
Pasadena. Okay.
Yes. No, that one's in October. I guess I got it wrong. I got the wrong convention.
Ew. Why in the world would anybody go see Boogie 2988? Go see
Anyways, I got the wrong convention. I apologize in advance. However, like, vendors are upset. Some congoers are upset. They're like, oh, well, now my friends aren't going to go. You got to remember that, like, these conventions are going to be, except for I can't speak on behalf of Anime Matsuri. I refuse to fucking. First off, I can't even follow their page. I can't follow their group. I can't follow shit because I'm banned. I'm fucking blocked. I'm banned.
Same.
Yeah. We can't see anything. Literally, all the information I get is people taking screenshots and pictures. I'm like, oh, I got a nice. I feel like TMZ. Breaking news on Geek Survivor. John poking his nose at an anime cosplay event. Details at 11.
Good Lord.
John poked his nose at the event and didn't wash his hands.
That man needs to find a short rope and a tall tree.
Please don't say that.
The opinions expressed by Lio Convoy are not necessarily held or endorsed by Geeks 5 Ever.
That's right. This is a live show. I can't edit
Publicly
it, fix, or change anything. If you want to say something bad about him, go to his channel. I'll even post a link. Anyways, so I can't, like I said, we're both banned. Anime Matsuri. Oh, A-Fest are both in Anime Fest is in July.
Wow, really?
Yes, according to the comment section. Kamea-Con is also in July.
Huh.
Delta H-Con is great because of Jesse and the crew. Thank you for that comment. That actually means a lot. we do try our best, but only we can do so much. We're not like guests or anything like that. We host panels. We do get that a lot of people go to these cons for our panels, and like we appreciate them, and we always show our appreciation for them. But I mean, let me share this comment real quick. Long story short, Anime Monster is still happening, and people still haven't gotten refunds or confirmations of the rollover. I'm not surprised. I predicted that a year ago. Actually, I went through my Facebook memories, and sure enough, I really did predict that.
He's probably going to play pretend that he doesn't know what you're talking about when you come at him for it. So don't be surprised when John tries to flake on you.
Oh, he's been called out on his Facebook group multiple times.
I'm sure, and I'm sure he does some sort of political nonsense non-answer to everything people ask him.
Oh, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of struggle. We're backlogged right now. We're trying our best. Yada yada yada. I'm like, it's been a year, right? How fucking back? Like, who's handling the refunds? The Flash that what's his name? Flash from the Disney movie with all the animals. He was the sloth.
You're talking
the sloth named Flash.
Yeah, from Zootopia.
Zootopia. There you go. Flash, 100-yard dash from Zootopia.
You wish there was somebody that competent running things.
Right. I mean, you said you haven't been to Delta because it just hasn't appealed to you. And I think Delta's a small convention. Let's just put it out there. Delta is a small convention. I like Delta. I like doing stuff for Delta. I've had some issues with Delta HCon, not with the con itself. A couple of its staff members who are questionable, and a couple of the guests who tried to who said something fucked up to me, and I tried to fist fight them.
That will definitely do it.
Yeah, he did say something. It was Voltaire, and he said something racist at me, and I got really mad at him because I don't tolerate. If you're gonna say something bad about me, that's fine. I don't care. If you're gonna make it like racist,
we only accept racism towards the French.
Right. We only accept because they surrender. They won't fight back. They'll just throw up their hands and wave them like they just don't care. But what are your thoughts? Like, what do you think about Delta? Like, I mean, if I were Delta, I would relocate. I would reschedule to a less busier month. Just for not because of Comic Palooza being a threat, but for the simple fact that we're still in the middle of a pandemic, despite the fact that people are getting vaccinated. Even if you don't think you can catch COVID, even if you're immune, let's just say you're immune, whatever, half of the country is in debt. Like, there are a lot of people that are behind on rent. There are a lot of people that don't have money. They're jobless. You have a lot of people that are financially struggling. That's why they were giving out stimulus checks to help stimulate the economy. But with so many conventions in a single month, especially in the state of Texas, that kind of market towards the same circle of people, we might not all be in that same circle, but we know somebody that's in that circle. Do you think like they should just reschedule just to get away from like so many conventions in a single month?
The thing is, whether or not they should isn't really the topic. It's whether or not they can. Usually convention openings like this are scheduled way in advance, and they have very strict booking to them. So even if they want to, they may not be able to. That's the struggle you're more likely going to see here.
Right. And that's another thing that people don't understand is conventions have contracts with the venues, with the hotel.
Correct.
With the centers that they're at. And I used to work for a hotel. Some of these are like ironclad. They are hard to get out of. Sometimes you can't even get out of them. It has to be an act of God. It has to be a pandemic, which would be considered act of God. It has to be something like of a natural disaster to happen to force the venue to relocate or reschedule or any of that nature, like to cancel, because most of these conventions don't have the insurance to cover the cost if they have to cancel for the year. And even if they do have the insurance is going to make them hold out to the very last minute. But once a lot of conventions get the green light to reschedule, they'll do it right away.
Highly possible.
I mean, look at Anime Matsuri. They rescheduled 2 times before they just flat out canceled. Oh, this year we're in July. Oh, we're in July. We're in July now. Oh, we're in August. Oh, we're next year. Yay!
Or should I just perma cancel and be done with it?
We have a comment here. He also posted. About 100K Mercedes. He didn't say he bought it, but it would make sense seeing how the refunds are coming so slow. You need that Mercedes money. Delta should reschedule just for the fact that it's just as Jesse said. There are too many cons happening in June and July. I think it's too early for a con. Like, once a good chunk of the country will be vaccinated by June, but I still think that people have to recover financially. And like, trust me, even if you don't catch COVID, like you don't catch COVID at these cons, you're like, a lot of people get sick from con crud because you have and we've brought this up a lot of fucking times, is you have that one person who doesn't fucking bathe.
You should just beat those people.
Right. I mean, they smell like Monday morning and it's Friday night.
Yep.
It's kind of like that episode of SpongeBob when they're on their pirate ship with Davy Jones, I think, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so excited." He's like, "I'm so excited. I haven't bathed in weeks. It's only been a couple hours, Patrick." I know.
Oh,
that is those cosplayers.
They'll spend hundreds of dollars on statues they'll jack off to, but not $10 on deodorant.
I've seen that. I've seen somebody spend $300 on a figurine, on a very questionable figurine, mind you. And they don't have a hotel. They're eating, like, you have to pitch in for their food because they don't have money for food. But they have the $300 statue. I'm like, hey man, you want to go out to eat? Yeah, I'm broke. Didn't you just spend $500 in the dealer's room? Yeah, and I'm sleeping in my car too. Why?
Because humanity is dumb and filled with dumb nerds. I mean, granted, I've seen people spend a lot more money on that, but that's also like for not jack off statues. It's for far more rare things. I saw one dude at BotCon drop like close to $4,000 for a transformer.
Oh wow! Holy shit!
Yeah, and the thing is, he didn't even blink. It was a Generation 1 Deathsaurus, and he's like, "Oh, this is mint in box." Yeah, it's mint in box. How much do you want for it? About $4,000. Dude just immediately reached for his wallet. My wife turned white. She got complete sticker shock from it.
He doesn't have a Mercedes. He has a Tesla. That's still expensive.
He's gonna have a whooping. He keeps it up.
John posted on the AM group that vaccines will not be required for entry.
I mean, in absolute fairness, how in the world would you even be able to prove that you did or didn't get one? There's no way to quality control that.
Right, absolutely. I don't see that as I don't think any convention is going to require that you have a vaccine upon entry. I would actually require that people social distance. I would require bathing. I wouldn't require bathing, but I would strongly recommend bathing.
I would. That instead of the vaccine, I'd be like, hey, have you showered, you dirty nerd?
Okay, lift up your arms and I'm going to smell you.
If I can smell you before I see you, there's a problem because I'm not a dog.
That's happened before.
Trust me, I know. I like that dude who carries that life-size doll around. That dude's horrifying.
There was a certain individual, I think that we both know. He was not recently, he was thrown in federal prison. He was big at all the anime conventions because he was part of the LARP community. Mm-hmm. He smelled awful. Yep. I'm not going to say his name.
I am. His name is Joshua Jackson. He's in jail for sex solicitation.
Yeah, so he was known as Shadow.
Yeah, Shadow.
And he fucking stunk.
Yeah, and he's going to be there for 15 years.
There's actually, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I'm probably going to catch hell I'm not going to catch hell from YouTube or Facebook, but his friends. There's a group of them that have a group chat that believe he's fucking innocent, and they added me to that bitch thinking that I was his friend. And instead I was like gathering all the information I could. I was like, So
Yeah.
y'all are stupid.
How long ago was that group made?
Before the pandemic.
Okay.
I think he was just being transferred.
Oh well.
I left the group because I wanted no part of that.
Well, I can't say I blame you. It was a mess. I started a group chat when we didn't know what was going on, and then we found out. And after the trial, everybody got quiet. So
right. Cons are going to be weird for the next couple of years. It's going to take a few years for everything to come back to normal. Not just cons being big events in general. Yeah, I could totally see like everything. Even if we go back to some form of normality, it's still going to be a couple of years before everything is back to the status quo as it was before. They give you a card when you get vaccinated. Yes, they do. If they didn't wear their mask and do social distancing, they will not tell their con goers to do it either. With Comic Palooza, the difference between Comic Palooza and the Anime Matsuri is that Comic Palooza will try to enforce some kind of hygiene standard. Because one, it's the city of Houston. And, they can get sued for just about anything. Even if you think it's stupid. They're restricting their panels. They only allow certain type of panels this year. With Delta, I'm not sure what the rules are with Delta just yet. I know with Anime Matsuri, they kind of don't give a shit. But I already said that was the thing. Like before all this happened, I already said, like, dude, they're not gonna care. Like, you're gonna walk in there with the mask, and as soon as you're inside, you're gonna take it off, and nobody's gonna give a shit. There's gonna be people hugging and picking each other up and glomping each other and all kinds of. If you don't catch COVID, you're gonna catch something. And some people need to catch these hands. That's what I'm just putting out there.
Do you have a link to your Discord server?
Yes, I do. I will send it to you.
Thank you.
I don't have it on this. I have a brand new computer. I don't have it on this computer. I have to download.
Well, you got somebody in that chat who
right.
So he should be able to send it to you.
Right. Oh, actually, I can do it on my phone. Dude, I forgot I can copy it and send it on my phone. I'm not used to my phone. I prefer my computer more than I prefer my phone. But with that being said, honestly, like, will Delta be hurt by being on the same weekend as Comic Palooza? I don't think so. I think Delta will be hurt from the fact that people are financially very unstable. The fact that we're still in the middle of a pandemic. The fact that people still don't trust going out just yet. And like, our numbers haven't gone down. Like, even if you don't think COVID is a big deal, there are 500,000 people dead in this country. So businesses, companies have to take that into account. Like, we don't want to risk people getting sick and then dying or being, suffering from it, because it's not about like they care about the people, they're here for the people. It's more like, if these people that come to your convention start dying off, there goes your revenue. As fucked up as that sounds, it's kind of fucking true.
Oh, it's not wrong.
Okay, so I sent you a link. It's the Geeks Harbor Discord. It's a lot of shit posting on there.
All right, let me take a look here.
But with that being said, what are your thoughts? The comment section, what are your thoughts on Delta HCon versus Comic Palooza? I don't think Delta is going to be hurt from Comic Palooza. It will be hurt in the sense that you're not going to have as many panelists. You're not going to have as many vendors. Because if vendors can't get into Comic Palooza, they're going to get into Delta. But there's going to be like, some vendors will do both. They will be at both because they have the staff for it. But there's individual vendors that are solo that won't be able to do both. And there are panelists that are groups that will be able to do both. They can do panels on Friday, then do panels on Saturday at Comic Palooza, or, drive back and forth, which I don't recommend doing. But it's going to be really interesting this year if Delta HCon does not postpone. Now, if Delta HCon postpone, Geeks 5 Ever will submit all of our panels for the entire weekend. We will do every panel that we host that will be accepted and permitted at the con within their guidelines. Now, like events like karaoke, probably not, because they are practicing social distancing. They're trying to keep people apart. And it's really hard to sanitize audio equipment. It really is. So is it possible to have karaoke? Absolutely. But do I want to go through the trouble of it? Probably not. But we will see. Especially with all these events going on and shit like that. We will see. You think a con goer who hasn't showered is going to get a vaccine for something they didn't think was real to begin with? Oof.
Hit them with the hose. Solve both problems at once.
For all you Discord enthusiasts, the link.
The link. I'm already causing shenanigans in your chat.
There you go. That's a spirit.
Are there any rules about what you can and cannot post here?
Just nothing racist.
Okay. Are there any minors in your chat?
No, it's 18 plus. It should be 18 plus.
All right, time to mess around then.
Okay.
Are you about to ask a question real quick?
Yeah. I mean, what do you think? Like, what do you think about the whole situation?
I think that Delta HCon and Comic Palooza, their demographics are diverse enough to where it shouldn't cause too much of a major issue in terms of attendance. The vendor issue might be a bigger one, but from what I recall on the floor of Comic Palooza, there's not much in the way of anime vendors there. It's primarily comic and toy vendors and art vendors. So the clash might come from people like you or me who have interest in both sides of the aisle there, who may struggle with which one they want to go to. But overall, I don't think it's going to cause anything catastrophic to happen.
Right. It's because I think a lot of anime fans, and no offense, Deacon Rap, this isn't taking a shot at you. I think a lot of anime fans just need to be educated in comic cons, or just have attended the wrong comic cons, because they think comic cons are exclusively just comic book stuff, when Comic Palooza is like evidence that you can have both in a single. Just because it's called comic book or Comic Palooza doesn't mean that it's strictly comic books, because you have movies, you have video games, you have tabletop gaming, you have anime, manga is considered comic books.
Also, at a comic convention, you don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to see a body pillow of somebody of questionable age.
I have issues with that.
I have a lot of issues with that, and I flat out say that I don't care for those type of people, and I don't care for those type of pillows.
Right. No, I don't either. I hate those body pillows. They really are. I really hate that shit.
The only time I don't hate them is when they're comedic. Like somebody did one of an overweight fedora neckbeard person, and another person did one of a velociraptor. Those are funny. That I'm okay with. But some of these other ones, I'm just like, your parents raised you to be this way, and they failed humanity by doing so.
Well, Funimation does sell vanilla body pillows.
Funimation needs to worry less about the body pillows they sell and whether or not they have actual voice talent that have a range.
Well, I'm only saying because I have a Dragon Ball body pillow, and it's completely vanilla. Like it's just a stock photo of Goku, and that's all it is.
Why am I not surprised that you have a Goku body pillow?
Hey, you know what? You can actually see it right now.
I don't want to look.
It's right there.
I don't want to look.
I don't like lewd material anyway. I know.
Why would you ever want a Goku body pillow?
Because I collect the Dragon Ball stuff. Eventually, I'm going to sell the Dragon Ball stuff.
I mean, dude, I'm sitting in my office where I'm surrounded by what do I have here? I have Thundercats, I have He-Man, I have Ninja Turtles.
I have those too, but they're just on they're on that side of the room that you can't see. I have Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers. You can't see them because that's my background.
Yeah, the Power Rangers are downstairs, but I like massively downsized that collection a few years ago because no space for them, and the figure arts, Mighty Morphins, are basically everything I really need.
Right. No, I collect the Lightning Collection figures.
Those are pretty good too. I've collected a few of those, but like I sold all of my original and Legacy Zords and all that stuff.
I'm thinking about selling the Legacy Zords. I'm just gonna stick with the figures.
Honestly, if you go for Zords, you should go for the Solo Chigokin versions. Those are like screen accurate, top tier, high dollar things that are metal, so they're worth the money.
I only have, well, as far as like Power Rangers goes, I have just the Dino Megazord. I have the 94 version. I have the 2010 version, the Legacy version, the Legacy Gold and Black version, and then I have the shitty one that you reviewed and told everyone not to buy.
That thing's a piece of garbage.
It really is. It's a piece of shit, and it's so fucking tiny. I was so pissed when I assembled. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit.
But they wanted $45 for it.
I got it for less. I got it for 30.
I didn't.
I got it. They were on sale at Walmart. By the time you had bitched and complained, and I went looking for it, they were on sale.
Well, it's not my fault. Things suck. It's their fault.
But she's a 500-year-old vampire. That's the excuse I hear a lot.
Yeah, you know what? It's not 500 though. Her body. The funny thing is, like, by definition and by medical definition, pedophilia isn't defined specifically by the age of the person in so much as when we're discussing fiction. It's just being attracted to a child's body, and the proportions are still that of a child's.
Yeah, I'm going to use that.
I've gotten into major arguments with these clowns, so I know exactly what tactics they use.
I prefer
You prefer avoidance, but I'm a type A.
No, I don't like avoidance. I'm trying to think of like a good metaphor or a good way to put it. It's like a big. I like girls like I like my steaks. With a lot with some meat.
Yeah.
Well done. Not well done, but just the more meat the better. Or just I just like a fully developed individual.
You could just say I like my women like I like my wine aged.
Aged. See, I can't even talk to anyone I can't talk to anyone that's under the age of 21. Like, how old are you? 20? I'm out. I can already hear police sirens.
Whoop 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 whoop.
But I'm 20. I don't give a shit. I'm Mexican. They'll still come beat my ass.
Well, primarily because you're Mexican.
Sir, you know how brown you were going? You were going over the limit of brown in the state of Texas. But with that being said, we talked about Comic Palooza, we talked about Delta HCon, and the fear is we said that we would keep covering the story. As of right now, we said it, and they're still in the same weekend. We don't know when they might change. They might not. They might. Who knows? We'll keep following the story as it is. But you have so many conventions in the same month, especially with Anime Matsuri, which is still generating a lot of money. Unfortunately, they still have not yet refunded a lot of people that have demanded a refund. It's been over a year. With that being said, there's a lot going on this year, and with a lot of conventions going on in the second half of the year, you can imagine that anime fans or comic book fans or cosplayers in general that want to go to all these conventions are going to have to spend a lot of money, and a lot of these people just don't have the income right now. Especially with a lot of businesses going under. I am victim of the COVID shutdown. My job, I lost my job because of COVID because business was just horrible and it was just not going anywhere. And I pretty much lost my job.
Yeah, I struggled too. I was in the middle of going from one job to another, and COVID hit right in the middle of that transfer, and the job I was going to dropped 300 people, so I didn't get hired on. So it took me a while to find a decent job. I actually just started a really good one last week, so that's good.
Amazon's Invincible series has a hero that turns into a giant monster, but she gets younger each time she uses it. She's 29, but now she looks 13. She hates it because only people interested in her are teens just hitting puberty and guys who pop up. Okay. Wow.
Well, definitely not looking at that series.
I was actually going to watch that because they showed like the guy that looks like what's the name of the actor that played Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man?
I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name either. I'm really bad with names. But I was gonna watch it because I heard he was in it. I haven't watched it. I'll probably check it out. But I'm not really a big fan of the whole lewd, young looking anime girls. Like, no.
No, I prefer him older.
Mm-hmm. Oh, J.K. Simmons. There you go. That's what it was.
Well, I need to go ahead and hop off because I got to get to bed, man.
Good
All right,
talking
man.
to you,
and I'll chat with you later.
All right, man. Thank you for joining us. See you on the Discord. All right, now it's just me again. And so, with all that being said, we will try to support Delta HCon. We will try to support Comic Palooza. For my friend Ross, we will be there on Friday for sure. Now, as far as panel goes, we don't know. I'm really hoping that Delta HCon will just reschedule, because as a group, I was talking to some of the other group members. I talked to one of the Geek Cyber staff members, and he said he wants to go to the Texas Renaissance Festival this year. He wants to go to the campgrounds. So we do want to get back to normal. We want our lives to go back to normal. It's not like we want to be stuck at home doing absolutely nothing. No, we hate this fucking bullshit. But Geek Cyber does need the conventions. We do need the conventions because that's how we generate more interest. That's how we, I'm not really good with the internet promoting. I'm more good at promoting in person, because when it comes to being in person, talking to you one-on-one, talking to you at the conventions, hosting panels, all that, I am very charismatic. I know that sounds like I'm full of myself, but it's the truth. I can run panels. I can run any panel. I could run a panel where I have no idea about the subject matter. And I have done that shit. I've hosted My Little Pony versus Homestuck. I don't know shit about My Little Pony. I don't know shit about Homestuck, but the panel worked. It was fun. It was amazing. You just got to know what you're doing and how to work the panels and run them and do a good job. I mean, it's a lot. It is a lot of work. It's a lot of commitment. And you don't get to do a lot of the fun shit that other people get to do. I don't get to really cosplay as much as everybody else. I can only cosplay if I have time. And even then, it's not a lot of time that I have, because I'm doing all kinds of shit at the time. Especially now with Geeks Fiber, I have to I bought a brand new camera, and it's a really cool camera. I mean, I'll show it to you real quick. So I got this camera. Oh, I didn't open the shutter. So I bought the brand new camera. I'm getting some wireless microphones. I got some stuff coming in the mail. By the way, if you're questioning why my bed doesn't have a bed sheet right now, it's because I'm doing laundry. That's memory foam. I'm poor, damn it. Leave me alone. I'm pretty sure somebody's like, I didn't even notice that until you pointed it out. Yeah, I fucked up. Anyways, time for the After Dark videos. But we're going to be doing more interviews. We're going to be doing more videos at the conventions. We're going to be talking to people. We're going to be doing a lot. I'm going to be very busy. And I don't expect the other members of Geeks Forever to do everything that I do. I like to take on a lot by myself. And I know that's bad, but I'm very, very hands-on, and I like to micromanage a lot, and it's just one of my faults. With that being said, the Dragon Ball channel was supposed to debut already. And so there's some minor things that happened. So, and we have an announcement to make. So we're going to have another Geeks 5 Ever XL podcast. The Black Table Podcast will be joining us on this show, on this episode, and we're going to be doing an entire special about cancel culture, about just cancel culture as a whole, not just certain subjects, but we're going to cover both sides of the spectrum, both the conservative side and the liberal side. And then the middleman, people like me that are in the middle that don't give a shit about either political party. Also, like, we were supposed to do terrible fan fiction this past Saturday. I couldn't do it. And the Dragon Ball channel was already supposed to be debuted. I couldn't do it as well because my old laptop has officially died. It's no good. It's no more. I have my brand new laptop now. It's a brand new HP Omen. Really great laptop. Fucking amazing. I was playing Dragon Ball Fighters and 7 Days to Die on fucking ultra settings, and it fucking runs great. I fucking love this laptop. It's really cool. So with that being said, so there is no Wednesday podcast this week, but I will do something tomorrow. And I will do something on Thursday. I'm not sure what yet. But you know, just check out the Dragon Ball channel it's called Over 9005 Ever. It's called It's Over 9005 Ever. I'll post a link. Let me see if I can get that link now. Okay. There it goes. It's the only channel that comes up. Yeah, it works. All right. All right, so make sure you check out my brand new channel. Posted a link. I posted a link. I need to get a new cable. Piece of shit. Anyways, all right, guys, that's it. That's all the time I have for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. Make sure if you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe to us on YouTube and Facebook. Also, check us out on Twitch. Make sure you check out that link for the brand new It's Over 9005 Ever YouTube channel. It's a Dragon Ball YouTube channel. And I'm going to be doing something tomorrow, Thursday. Don't forget to join us Friday for our regular Geeks Forever podcast. I'll announce when we do the XL podcast. I don't know when, but it's going to be on a Sunday. Saturday, I will do the terrible fan fiction, and I will release a video for for the Dragon Ball channel. I'm going to be reviewing some of the figures. I have a bunch of fucking figures that I need to start reviewing. So I'm going to start probably that tomorrow. I'm going to start the process tomorrow, edit the videos, do my voiceovers, and then have them released hopefully by the weekend. Hopefully sooner. If I can get one done before the weekend, I will release it. There's a lot going on. I'm going to submit the panels officially for Comic Palooza and Delta tonight. So we'll hear whether they get accepted or not. So we'll go from there. But we're definitely not going to fucking Anime Matsuri. So you know how much we fucking hate them. And I'm not going to Kamehacon. I don't pay to go to conventions. And that's a Dragon Ball Con. And I would love to go to that convention. But I'm not going to pay to go to that one. If I can go as a panelist or as a guest, that'd be amazing. If not, I won't go. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to go ahead and do this video because we haven't done it in a while. I'm out. Peace.